So welcome everybody to this evening's get together for the equinox. And we are here to, well, gather our energies, because the purpose of this whole dynamic is, the reason I'm doing these connections during the equinoxes and solstices, and I'll speak a little bit more in just a moment about equinox and solstice specifically, but the reason for me to do these meetings is really that we affirm our common direction at these times. And when we affirm our common direction at these times, it really truly means that we are reorienting ourselves, and we're also having more impact not only on our physical world but also on reaching higher levels, because when many people align around a specific direction or goal, then the higher levels of beings that are sort of watching us, that are watching the earth in a way, they have more permission to help us directly when more of us have the same incentive to go in a certain direction. And I think all of you, all of us that are here today together, we all have something in common that is sort of according to the lines of having a more positive, a more bright future for all of us, our present too, a more happy, joyful environment in which we're living, peaceful. And of course, if we're looking at the collective consciousness, which is, the regular consciousness, we can see what the collective consciousness has created at the moment, which is, reflected all out there in whatever we have in the world now. That doesn't look so pretty, I would say. But I think many of us, our intention is, as I said, to have an environment where there would be love, laughter, joy, contentment, peace with enough for all, and maybe conscious transformation rather than the, uh, unconscious evolution that we are having right now, but conscious transformation in our world. So these kind of things, that's, I think, what we're here to do together. And today I have a very nice schedule again for you. I will talk a little bit, then I will have Susan Cooper read a text that I'm really looking forward to, and I will let her explain what that is, and also Elaine Danforth. And I'm not sure that Elaine will, so after Susan's reading, we will do the meditation. Then Elaine will provide some music and either piano and or singing, and she will let us know what that is when the time comes. So, and then we'll have the closing afterwards. So that's our schedule, just to give you a little bit of a heads up.
Elaine, would you send Wendy a link, please?
A link to what?
To this program. She can't find her link.
Oh, okay, sure.
Thank you. Okay, so then let's talk for a moment about the importance of the equinoxes, the solstices, what they do, what they are. And, first of all, we have to remember when we're looking at our current calendar on our planet, our current calendar is sort of a mix and match of all kinds of things coming together. But in the more ancient past, they basically had calendars that were arranged by various influences. For example, there was the moon calendar, there was the Mayan calendar, the Atlantean calendar, and or the Aztec calendars and others. They all had, various influences. And I would say that there are three calendars right now that are influencing our Earth the most. And the first is, if you wish, the moon calendar. And of course, the moon calendar has 13 months or, 13 cycles, 13 moons each month, or each, cycle is 28 days, starting with the new moon, where you can't see the moon, where everything is dark, and ending, with the full moon, the full glowing globe. When there's no clouds, it's very bright outside. So, and of course, the moon cycles are related to the cycles of life on Earth. It's related very much because moon, as you know, very much influences the waters on the planet. It's high tide when there's full moon, and it's, well, I mean, even daily there's high tide and low tide, but the high tide during a full moon, the high tide is really high. The low tide is really low during a new moon. And, even as women, of course, we know how the cycles, our cycles, the menstrual cycles are related to the moon as well. So that's there. So, and of course, anything related to water is related to emotions, because water and emotions go together. So that is another part of it. So that's relating to our daily lives, to, what is going on, emotions, water, all of that. And of course, I mean, during a full moon, you can also see, like, in terms of emotions, how oftentimes during a full moon, you can see how people are much more frantic and, this, that, and the other thing, and everything is, really intense. And then during a new moon, the emotions are a little bit more quiet. It's not so intense then. Okay, then the next calendar is the Syrian calendar, the calendar that is based on when the star of Sirius, in the which is also sometimes called the dog star, when that star appears on the horizon in the sky. So that calendar, I mean, like the Dogon tribe in Africa were, even until very recently, or maybe, I don't know how active the Dogon tribe is now, but they were using the Syrian calendar. Of course, the Egyptians used the Syrian calendar. Some of the traditional cultures in North and South Americas used based their life on the Syrian calendar. So this, the difficult part, of course, with the Syrian calendar is that the Sirius star, rises on different days depending on the latitude on where you are on the Earth. So if you are living, in the northern hemisphere, closer to the North Pole versus closer to the equator, or more in the southern hemisphere, there are different days. So it's not a calendar that necessarily works or has the same beginning date in each part of the planet. But, this calendar begins generally when that star is rising on the horizon, is appearing on the horizon. And the Atlantean calendar is based on the cycles that we have in our world that are now also very visible still in Chinese medicine, or Chinese traditional understanding of the five transformations or the five elements. And these are the cycles of fire, of air, of earth, of water, of ether or metal, so that's what the Atlantean calendar is based on. And many of these, other, like, I mean, as I said, the five elements, this is still the same, it's the same system. They have they are not basing it necessarily on the Sirius star anymore, but it is the same system. And then, of course, the last calendar that we are very much influenced by is the solar calendar. And the solar calendar is the easiest one because we have only 4 stages to that solar calendar. And these 4 stages are, of course, the 2 equinoxes and 2 solstices. So 4 times of the year when the seasons are changing. And so this calendar is based on the perspectives from the earth towards the sun. And because the moon is related to water, to emotions, to soul energy, whereas then the solar calendar is based on spirit, on the fire energy, the fire of the sun. So let me show you a moment to give you an understanding here, to show what that is like. So let's see here. So can you see this? Okay. So when we're looking at the sun, of course, the sun, the Earth is tilted on an axis. It is not a straight axis, but the Earth is tilted. And so as it rotates around the sun, like in this case, there is more sun in the northern hemisphere. And in this case, there is more sun in the southern hemisphere. So at this time, this is more the summer solstice in the northern hemisphere, and this is the summer solstice. And I mean, at this time, let's put it this way. Okay, so here the northern hemisphere is closer to the sun. Here the southern hemisphere is closer to the sun. That means when they have summer solstice in the southern hemisphere, we have, of course, winter solstice. So there are really only solstices, and depending on where you live, it's summer or winter solstice, but it's really, either a December solstice or a July solstice, but whether it's summer or winter depends on where you are. Now, when the at the equinoxes, so the solstice means the sun is still. It's solstice, it stands still. Stare means standing, not moving. So these 2 days when we have the solstices are 2 days in the year when the sun, which is usually moving on the horizon every day, and every day it rises in a different spot until that movement of the sun suddenly stops and is still, and then it moves backwards again. So that's the solstice. Then we have the equinoxes. The equinoxes, which come, of course, from the root word of equitable, which means equal. So equinox means that this is the time when the North and South Pole are at the same distance from the sun. And that's, here and here and here and here. So these are the two equinoxes. So where the sun is shining directly on the middle of the earth, and so it's at equal distance in both directions. And yeah, so that's the solstices and equinoxes. Of course, in our calendar, we begin our year January 1st, and in more recent history, they celebrated, of course, the December solstice, and then celebrated about 11 or 12 days after the solstice, which brings us to the end of December. And that is then what they recently started with as the new year. But it is really the true new year is more beginning with the spark of fire, which is the equinox that is in March. And that March equinox is the representation of fire, of the initial spark, of the divine light. And as the light refracts through the three-dimensional prism, then we can see the light as fire of the five main colors, which is blue, red, yellow, white, and black. Then we have the solstice in June, and the solstice in June is related to the water element, and so it represents again feeling, perceptions, emotions, and especially all of our senses: hearing, taste, touch, vision, smell. They are heightened. And then this equinox, the September equinox, this is related to air. And air, of course, has to do with breathing, with word, with voice, with song. And, so notes and music, especially following the 5-scale note, the pentatonic scale, are really important. And like, for example, all traditional Chinese music is still following the pentatonic scale. But, in terms of music, we have to understand that everything in the universe and everything here on Earth is basically frequency. So, for example, Earth frequency is, with fluctuations, but around 7.83 hertz. The sun frequency is 126.22 hertz. Human frequency is in a range from 5 to 10 hertz. Trees are, resonating a vibrational frequency of about 1.5 hertz. Bees, for example, have a frequency of between 190 to 250 hertz. Very high frequency. Water has a frequency of 22,236 gigahertz. I can't even imagine what that is. But so, all of these, that's also the hertz, the frequency, those are sounds. And, each of our meridians, beginning and ending points on our fingers, on our toes, they are emitting a frequency. They are sounds, and you can begin to hear them. And, so here's a picture, there's the frequencies that we emit that are going through our bodies and out of our bodies. And of course, the same with the earth. It has these meridians all around the earth. The earth is a living being, just like we are. And everything is connected by this network of consciousness that we are. I mean, so many times we think, as I have talked about before, that, you know, our consciousness is inside our body, but really our body is inside of consciousness. And the more we can open ourselves up to the greater grid of consciousness, not only, you know, just around us, but I mean, locally around us, but to the greater grid, even of the, you know, planetary meridian consciousness grids. And sometimes it's depicted like this or like this, you know, you can see it in different ways. But the more we can connect to that, the more we can truly understand the earth, become stewards of the earth, and be also more truly connected with each other. And then, of course, the December solstice is about firmness, structures, patterns, about creation. And these structures are basically embodied in the form of creation, in the form of the five Platonic solids, which are, you know, the three-sided pyramid, the tetrahedron, the cube, the octahedron, the double pyramid, the dodecahedron with the, you know, five sides to each face, and the icosahedron with 20 triangular faces. So the winter solstice is all about structure, about creation, about manifestation. But so we need these different cycles to go through all the different aspects that make then creation more. And at this moment, we are in the phase of the singing, bringing everything to life, bringing everything to, yeah, to a harmony, if you will. So in the next few days, when you have a moment, take an hour or so and either, you know, speak or sing or write or create something if you have time. Create something that where you can imagine yourself as being part of the network of the earth, connecting specific lines, opening the information of these points that are, you know, on the earth that you know, in long days past, people were very easily able to download all the information from the points of the earth. And these days, our consciousness has so dumbed down that we are not able to do that anymore. But let's, you know, let's bring these downloads back. Let's be able to connect to that again. So connecting with the lines and points like acupuncture points and meridians of the earth. And, you know, set, of course, your intention for your highest vibration and desire, but not so much, you know, very specific things, but more general, you know, your highest desire, your highest vibration, fulfilling your potential, whatever that may be. And, you know, feeling the laughter, the smiles, the ease with which everything can come, the maybe the rainbow colors, hearing the sounds with that, what these rainbow colors sound like, and seeing the rainbow colors maybe swirling around the world. Whatever, you know, however you can imagine that. And it's important that you know, create something for yourself, that you do it your way, not take somebody else's structure exactly, because we are all so unique, and in order to fulfill more of the desire also of the earth, and to fulfill our own potential, but it is about the biodiversity and adding your own specific precise energy to this earth energy. That's what makes it so important. And so that in your meditation, you can activate the creation of a forest full of wealth in terms of abundance on all levels, in terms of health, resources, inspiration, love freely given and received. So, that our consciousness on the earth can all blossom up for everybody. And that is where I will next ask Susan to do a reading in just a moment. Are there any questions on anything that I have covered that I have really not been clear about?
I have also heard the solstices described as big yang and big yin, and then the equinoxes as little yang and little yin, because I believe it's the fall equinox is little yin or little yang. No, little, I'm getting confused. So summer would be yang, right? And so the spring equinox would be little yang leading up to it. Is that correct?
Okay, I would say the spring equinox is probably, I can only tell it, because I can feel it where on the body they are. So winter solstice is the bottom of the spine. The solar points are generally on the back of the body. The lunar points more on the front, on the soft part of the body, right? So the back of the body is the solar points. The bottom of the spine is, well, that's the darkest point. That's the solstice. Then about where you're opposite your navel is about where the March equinox is. And then the fall, is, or this equinox in September, the singing, it's good for the heart when we sing. So that's sort of opposite the heart in the back. And then the one that is, so no, wait, I'm sorry, I'm wrong. So the one at the heart is, of course, the singing, I'm sorry, but I was wrong. The one at the heart is the summer. This is the summer solstice or June equinox. And this one is the one that's opposite the voice box. That's the one with the singing. But this one is more the emotional one, of course, because it's related, to the heart, to the emotions, to all of our senses. So this one right here at the bottom of your cervical spine, that's the one where we're now. And then we go back to the bottom of the spine. So going up in that sense. And then depending on, which, you could say that the winter solstice is very yin, and then going up little yin, but, depending on which way you look at it, it could be, depending on what you consider to be yin or yang, it could be opposite. I hope that makes sense. Okay, I think I will give it over to Susan. Susan, please tell us what you're reading and, anything you wish to share with us. Thank you.
Okay. I'll give you a little background. Uh-oh. I want to cut myself off the video here. Well, good afternoon, everybody, and happy fall equinox. I'm going to recite a hymn written over 1,000 years ago in the 9th or the 10th century by the great Kashmiri saint and mystic Abinavagupta. As one of the great masters of yoga, Abinavagupta's hymn, as well as his other writings, are revealed from his own experiences as a yogi. It is understood that he attained the highest levels of pure consciousness, where his awareness was of oneness within and without, rather than the awareness of separation that is typical of our experience. The hymn is the Bhairava Stotra. Bhairava means the highest, purest consciousness, that uniting, vibrating energy, or spanda, as it's sometimes called, that we share with all existence and is our true nature. And to my mind, the real source and meaning of one peaceful world. It underlines all of existence as we know it, always waiting for our awareness. So here we go, the Bhairava Stotra of Sri Abinavagupta. I, Abinavagupta, with one pointed devotion, am praying to that supreme, all-pervading Lord, who is himself present in each and everything that exists, and who, through realization, reveals himself as the one limitless Lord, the protector of the helpless. By the energy of your grace, it has been revealed to me that this vibrating universe is your own existence. Thus, O Lord, this realization has come to me that you are my own soul, and as such, this universe is my own expression and existence. O possessor of everything, though your people, bound by karma and conditioning of mind, are caught in the net of destiny that arouses troubles and bondage, still they are not afraid of the fret and fever of this world. Having realized this universe as your own existence, they are not afraid of worldly difficulties, because fear exists only when there is someone else to inflict it. But when there is none other than you, how can fear arise? O Lord, I offer salutations to you who has awakened me to the realization that everything in existence is you alone. As a result of this awakening, the darkness of my mind has been destroyed, and I am neither frightened by the evils in this world or by the fearful Lord of Death. O Lord, it is through your existence, revealed to me by real knowledge, that I realize all attachments and all that exists in this universe is activated by you. It is by this awakening that my mind becomes saturated with immortal devotion and I experience supreme bliss. O Lord, sometimes I feel misery which arouses torment in my mind, but at that same moment, blessed by a shower of your grace, a clean and clear vision of my oneness with you arises, the impact of which my mind feels appeased. O compassionate Lord, under the influence of your glory and for the benefit of your worshippers, I, Abinavagupta, have composed this hymn. By meditation and recitation of this hymn and other sacred shastras, within a moment that merciful Lord Bhairava destroys the torments and sufferings springing from this wilderness of samsara. Jagger did.
Thank you. Thank you, Susan. How wonderful.
It's wonderful.
Uplifting and you know that again it's about the vibrations and understanding that everything is connected, and how can we be fearful when there is nothing but ourselves? Only when we fear ourselves, right?
Yeah, and we do.
And we do, exactly, because there seem to be some like, I don't really know myself. Who am I? What am I? Right, right. So it's wonderful. Thank you. So, what I would suggest we do at this time is we will go into the meditation. I have chosen to make it a little bit shorter meditation, and then we will go to the music afterwards, so that you know, we can shorter meditation, because I've been talking already so much. But as I told you initially, I wanted you to, you know, do something also on your own, and that's hard to do absolutely in the group. But with the energy of the group now, and with all the upliftment that we're receiving from all of us, I think we can put enough of a spark of an initiator in there, so that we can send really good energy out there, so that it will come back to us in a positive way, in seeing in the reflections of our world, whatever that may be. So what I will ask you to do is relax yourself. Maybe for a moment, just, you know, sit straight, maybe lift and lower your arms up, inhalation, arms down, exhalation. Inhalation, arms up, exhalation, arms down. And with the exhalation, also maybe through the fingertips, through the toes, allowing yourself with the exhalation to release all the energies from your arms, your body, from your legs, your feet. And one more time, inhaling, arms up, exhaling, arms down, and coming to a rest. And allow your eyes to close for a moment, letting your breath sink in deeper, relaxing more. Waves of relaxation washing over you, washing through you from head to toe. And more waves of relaxation are washing over you, washing through you, washing away more and more stresses and tension. And in this more relaxed state, imagine yourself as a portion of an invisible universe, one in which all the stars and planets are conscious and full of indescribable energy, and they all connected. And you are aware of this energy. And think of this universe with the stars, the planets, the galaxies, as having the form of a body. If you wish, imagine its bright silhouette against the sky, and the suns and planets are your cells, each filled with energy and power, but awaiting your direction. And then see this image of this bright universe exploding into your own consciousness, into your own being. This exploding light is unbelievably bright. And realize that this light or energy that is unfolding within you is a portion of a far greater multidimensional structure spread out in many dimensions. And allow yourself to feel the unfolding of this multidimensional structure or this multidimensional being within you. And allow the images to be whatever they are without forcing. Maybe it's like the image of an opening of a flower, feeling the petals opening up to you. Maybe it's something else altogether. Maybe it's like waves in an ocean. Whatever images are there for you, allow them to be. Feel this unfolding within you. And as it's within, so it is without. And feel this entity, this energy, sending you energy. This universe that is unfolding within you is sending you energy to each of your cells, to each of your meridians, to each of your points, to every organ, every part of your body. And let it fill your being, and perhaps direct it to any part of your body that you choose. And perhaps allow yourself to feel the music of that this energy is representing. Feel the sounds, feel the vibration. Feel the frequency. Maybe hear the music. Or if there is an event in your life that you desire to happen very much, allow this bright light to be a backdrop for the feelings of joy and gratitude coursing through your body as if this event had already become a reality. And these feelings will act like a magnet to draw them more into your life. So feel the success, feel the gratitude, feel the joy, the buoyancy, the laughter, how easy everything is. Everything is happening with ease. And then take a deep breath in, hold it for a moment, and let it out. And if you're ready, slowly open your eyes, coming back to here and now. Taking a few deep breaths. If you don't feel quite centered, you can always tap a little bit on the top of your head, or, move your fingers, move your toes to come back to here, feel more centered in your body. Yeah, you can shake everything out if you wish. You can, move a little bit, adjust yourself to feel comfortable. So then in the moment when Elaine is ready, we will have some music, and Elaine will let us know when she's ready.
I'm trying to get that. Okay. Trying to get that piano into view.
Yes.
I had it before, but I changed the view. Let me see. Yeah, a little bit. What did I change? Almost all there. And that end.
Yeah.
This end.
A little bit to the other side, the other direction.
Yeah, it's complicated because it was funny. Let me see. I had it. And
I think this is this a little bit too far, a little bit to the other side. I think
it doesn't matter. I'm not
this
not
is-
going to use
this is
that.
perfect.
It would be okay.
This is we can do both ends.
So, the thing I would like to say is that if you do wish me to hear if you are having any reaction, like clapping your hands at the end, please unmute yourself because it's kind of nice to hear you as well as see you.
Very good. So when at the end, if let's
Yeah. And so let's try to throw a little light on the subject to the degree that I can with this setup. I am going to play and sing Greensleeves.
okay, we can't hear anything.
Can you hear?
No.
No. You hear me speaking?
Yes.
This is strange. I tried to put all the music settings on. I don't have a proper external microphone, but let me check my mute audio settings here because I try to fix them all where they should be to the degree that I know.
I know sometimes it's really tricky.
I'll put stereo audio. I don't know that that's going to help, but
Why don't you
live
press the key
performance
from here?
audio.
Let's see if it's.
I have to use your voice. I think an
Well,
instrument.
I am going to use my voice, but if I have the piano too, that's what I practice to do them together.
That's not going to do it. I don't think.
All right. Do you hear the piano now?
No.
No, that's straight. Well,
You can play the piano.
okay. What about this? You got it now?
No.
You still don't hear the piano. I don't hear anybody. Do you hear the piano?
Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
I hear you.
Yeah.
No piano.
Yeah, no piano.
Okay, but do you hear my voice?
Yes.
All right. Well, you know what? I am gonna play the piano anyway, maybe.
That's fine.
Just to keep me on track. And I'm super bummed that you can't hear it. I do not know why. I was looking at a video to get the correct settings beforehand. So truly, this is unfortunate, but hey, we're here and I've got a voice, so I'll use it.
Perfect. And, this is all we're asking for, and it's never about perfection. So.
Although the slide wrong to cast me off, so discourteously, for I so long delighting in your light of my heart of gold, of joy and but my lady free. I have your hand to get whatever, for I and I love you. Light, speak heart of God, of joy and of my lady, of white just me, the vanity of white and the right, of joy and
We could hear a little bit of the piano there intermittently.
Yeah, unfortunately, sometimes it went a little bit away, then it came out again. We could hear it, and then it went a little bit in and out. But every time it was joy, I could hear it. So that was great.
Yeah, it was beautiful.
Well, I gotta work at this thing. I'm a serious enough musician, and I really need to have the proper microphones and all that. And I just for some reason haven't done it yet. So anyway, thank you.
Thank you.
And I think this is a wonderful song. And thank you for being willing to play it live. And even if we didn't hear every word, I mean, we could see it in your expression. And I think we could feel it through just seeing it and, partially hearing it. So that means we have to reach out further. We have to stretch ourselves further to be more fine-tuned to pick everything up.
It still struck the heart.
Yes.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yes, please. Anything anybody wishes to say to Elaine and or also to Susan's sharing, please do.
We've had this before, like on PIDA, on the macrobiotic PIDA group. There's a really good musician that used to come on a lot and well known, I guess. And he was going to give us a piano recital, and it didn't work on the Zoom.
I wonder if I could plug the piano right into the computer, and if that would, then you would hear it. I don't know. I don't know it really, but since it's an electronic piano, it might work that way.
It could be, but in any case, I am really glad for both Susan's and Elaine's contribution, and for all of you being here. Thank you for sharing the space with all of us. I hope you have gotten something out of it, and hope to see you, at another solstice or equinox again. And again, feel inspired to make something else, create something else, take a moment to, put something out there that is specifically you and having to do with your highest vibration, your highest potential, reaching your highest potential and reaching the highest potential of this world. And otherwise, I bid you a very good night. And of course, the equinox, the actual date is not today, but it worked better for more people today. So, but we are in the equinox time period, so we still have time to do more meditation, to open ourselves up to spirit more, because in general the equinoxes, solstices are related to the spirit, to understanding more, to having more wisdom open to us. And yes, I think that is what it's about. And anybody wishes to share anything as the last moment?
Just a joyful autumn to everybody and a season of soil energy.
Thank you.
Thank you.
If not, then I think we will bring this to a close for tonight. Again, thank you all, and perhaps see you at one of my cooking classes or another session in the near future. Take care, everybody. Good night. And
Thank you.
Thank you, Martina.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.
Love you all.
Love you too.